Bedikat Chametz. We'll discuss today someone who's leaving his home before Pesach. What does he have to do regarding the Bedikat Chametz? This is a very, very important question that comes up at least a couple dozen times personally. If you'll ask me on Erev Chag, so I'll probably hopefully just send them this recording. Halacha explains, we've established a few times, that if someone is leaving his home within 30 days of Pesach, then he has an obligation to do a Bedikat Chametz in that home. This Bedikat, however, doesn't get a beracha because the rule is you only make a beracha on the 14th at night. So any other time you do a Bedikat, there's no beracha, except for the 14th at night, which is the night right before Leil HaSeder. Now, if a person is leaving his home within 30 days of Pesach, so again, any time after Purim, he leaves his home, whether or not he intends to be back, there still is an obligation to check his home for chametz and get rid of any chametz that may be in his home. But like we said, there is no beracha required to be made. Now, what about doing bedikat chametz when you're away from home and you're not going to return and you're leaving, let's say, for the Chag? So this is also a very important halacha as well. The person will be spending Pesach away from home and arrived at his destination prior to the night of the 14th. He is obligated to perform Bedikat Chametz there with a beracha. So for example, a classic example, someone's going on a Pesach program or going on vacation for Pesach and they arrive the day before Pesach, which is the night, meaning the 14th at night. So let's say Pesach is a Wednesday night this year. They arrive prior to Tuesday night. Then they have an obligation to do Bedikat Chametz in their apartment or wherever they're renting out with the beracha, the same night that the rest of the Jews in the world do Bedikat Chametz. That's very important, and it's often overlooked that there's an obligation to search Chametz where you will be for Pesach. Now, there's a lot of nuances when the key was given, if someone is releasing a new home on the 13th, if there's assumptions. We won't get into those necessarily nuances at the moment, but it's just important to establish that someone who's away for Pesach needs to check the apartment or the hotel room he's in for chametz. Now, one who arrived at a hotel in Erev Pesach during the day and will be staying there throughout Pesach must also perform Bedikat Chametz in his hotel room, but this time without a beracha, even though he already performed one at his home with the bracha the night before. So let's say someone is traveling on Wednesday day this year. Wednesday night is Leil HaSeder. We do the Seder Wednesday night. If he travels Wednesday day, so Tuesday night he did Bedikat Chametz at home. He traveled Wednesday morning. He has to, once again, without a beracha this time, because again, the principle is only the night before you make a beracha. Without a beracha, he has to check the hotel room or the Airbnb or wherever he's renting out for the duration of Chag. He must check it again on Wednesday day for chametz to ensure that there is no chametz in his possession, in his property, in his house, over his duration of the stay throughout Pesach. So again, very important halachot when you're traveling. If you arrive to your destination the night before Pesach, you make a bedikah chametz with a beracha. If you arrive the day of Pesach, or in parentheses, even during Chol HaMoed, you have to make sure there's no chametz in the hotel. So you call them, you tell them to take away the snack bar, you be mindful, you arrange from ahead, and you fulfill this obligation in the most ideal way. Chazak u'baruch.